The Tomb Raider reboot is now in theaters, and I'm sure that a whole bunch of you have already gotten to see it. Those of you who have seen it may have noticed that the film actually sticks surprisingly close to the plot of 2013's video game reboot, simply entitled Tomb Raider. But there are admittedly a few major differences. These are the 4 biggest differences between the Tomb Raider film and game. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the subscribe button and click the bell to be notified when we upload fresh content. Also, there are a ton of spoilers in this video, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, stop watching. Or keep watching. Whatever, it's your choice. Either way, you've been warned. The driving force of the entire film, Lara Croft's father, Richard, is revealed early on to have disappeared while searching for the mythical Japanese island of Yamatai. This causes Lara to begin her journey. In the 2013 game, however, that's not what gets Lara going. In the game, Lara's search for Yamatai is fueled by her own theory about the island's location, with her father only being mentioned in passing during conversations. It wasn't until the game's sequel, Rise of the Tomb Raider, that Lara's father even plays an important role. However, even in that game, she doesn't find him like she does in the film, where he's alive and well stranded on the island. I sort of understand why they went this way with the film, however, as a storyline about a girl searching for her beloved father is a bit more enticing and character focused, allowing for better growth. Another major change from the game to the film is the reduction in characters, specifically the axing of the crew of the Endurance. Within the game, there are roughly over a dozen or so members of the crew, including several named characters such as Conrad Roth, the ship's captain, and Angus Grimaldi, the helmsman. Within the film, however, none of these people exist, as the Endurance here is instead a fishing vessel rather than a large research ship. There is only one other person on board besides Lara, that being the owner, Lou Ren, who himself is a completely new character. The ship still does get destroyed off the coast of Yamatai, however. So as much as things change, other things still stay the same. Now, this was probably done because trying to cram all those characters into a 2-hour-long movie would probably feel like a bit of a slog. Still though, it was kind of a bummer not to see them. The main group of baddies in the 2013 game were a group of fanatics known as the Solari Brotherhood, made up of shipwrecked survivors on the island who sought to appease Himiko, more on her later. They were led by Matthias, an aging man who controlled them through brute force and psychological torture. The film, however, instead decided to introduce the antagonists of Rise of the Tomb Raider instead of the Solari Brotherhood. That being Trinity, an organization that seeks to control all of mankind via supernatural means. They're a lot more paramilitary and less brainwashed cult, though they are still led by a man by the name of Matthias, though this version of the character is younger, but he still controls people through death threats and such. The decision to introduce Trinity here is a little bit more cut and dry than the other changes, as they were probably put in place to better set up a potential sequel, as the Solari Brotherhood are kind of tied to Yamatai being all connected to Himiko and such. But speaking of Himiko, the woman whose final resting place lies on Yamatai was Queen Himiko, an ancient Japanese monarch who is said to possess great power. Both the film and the game feature Himiko, but in different ways. In the game, she is titled the Queen of the Sun, and is said to have power over the storms that surround the island. This version of the character is very much a supernatural entity, actually possessing Lara's best friend Sam in an attempt to return to life. In the film, however, there's very little that's actually supernatural about her. Instead, the Queen of Death, as she's called in this incarnation of the character, is a long dead host of an ancient disease that turns people into weird decaying zombie things. Trinity seeks her out not to appease her as the Brotherhood did, but instead to bring back that disease in order to weaponize it. And there's no possession this time around, just good old zombification. The reason for this change is a little bit harder to figure out, though it could largely go towards the idea of simplifying the story, as introducing genuinely supernatural elements could bring with it a whole lot of unnecessary exposition in order to explain it. Plus, it's just a little bit easier on the budget. No need to spend all that money on CGI ghost queens. Have you seen Tomb Raider, or are you planning on seeing it? Let us know what you thought about the film in the comments below. And if you're a fan of the games, be sure to let us know if there were any other differences that we might have missed. And if you're watching this on Facebook, click the link to be taken to our YouTube channel for more videos like this one. And thanks for watching.